The pressure on Cleveland's coaching staff has reached a boiling point that can no longer be contained behind press conferences, shallow reassurances, or vague promises about future improvements. Every snap, every stalled drive, every wasted possession feels like another crack splintering through the already fragile foundation of this team. The fans sense it, the players sense it, and even the analysts covering the league can feel the tremors pulsing beneath the surface. Change is coming, and it is coming fast because the Browns have pushed themselves into a corner where only two paths remain. They can either embrace the necessary transformation that everyone sees coming or cling desperately to a failing plan and watch the season collapse entirely under the weight of stubbornness and denial. The locker room atmosphere has shifted in a way that's impossible to ignore. Veterans who have spent years grinding through disappointing seasons, dragging themselves onto the field while younger teammates cycle through the roster, are tired of watching this franchise waste potential year after year. They've seen the flashes of talent from Sanders during practice, the calm confidence he carries with him, the way receivers naturally respond to him even when it's just a throwaway rep during warm-ups. They've seen how the offense looks when someone steps under center who can actually command the field. And quietly, behind closed doors, they know which quarterback gives them the better chance to compete, even if the coaching staff refuses to admit it. Dillon Gabriel's struggles aren't just affecting the offense. They're rippling across the entire team. The defense, which has held its own far more often than not, is being forced back onto the field repeatedly after failed offensive series. Morale is slipping, fatigue is setting in, and frustration is beginning to simmer beneath the surface. No defense, not even an elite one, can survive an entire season without the support of a functioning offense. They need momentum, they need drives that last more than a handful of plays, and they need a quarterback who can do more than survive from snap to snap. They need someone who can lead. Meanwhile, the whispers from within the organization are getting louder, more pointed, and harder to ignore. Staffers who once preached patience are now privately questioning whether patience has turned into willful negligence. Scouts who advocated for Sanders during the draft process are shaking their heads at seeing the rookie glued to the bench week after week. And the front office, which understands the financial and structural implications of these decisions better than anyone, is now staring down the uncomfortable reality that delaying Sanders' development could jeopardize the long-term rebuilding plan they've spent years trying to construct. Every team reaches a moment in its season where the excuses run out. For Cleveland, that moment is right now. The Ravens game is not just another matchup on the schedule. It is a crossroads, one that may define the trajectory of the franchise for years to come. If Gabriel falters early, and all signs point to that being more likely than not, the storm inside that stadium will be unlike anything Stefanski has experienced during his tenure. The fans will demand action, the energy will turn volatile, and the calls for Sanders will echo through the walls like a warning the organization can no longer dismiss. And yet, beneath the chaos, beneath the doubt and anger, lies a flicker of hope that has not completely died out. Every franchise, no matter how snake-bitten its history, eventually reaches a turning point that shapes its destiny. Sometimes it comes from bold decisions. Sometimes it comes from unexpected opportunities. Sometimes it comes from a young talent who steps into the moment when everyone least expects it. For the Browns, that potential turning point has been sitting quietly on the sideline all season long, helmet in hand, waiting for his chance. Shedeur Sanders has the tools, the background, the mindset, and the competitive fire to become the spark this team desperately needs. And the irony is that the Browns could stumble onto their next franchise quarterback not through brilliance or foresight, but through desperation and necessity. The franchise that has suffered more quarterback heartbreak than almost any team in league history might finally find relief in the rookie they've refused to play. But before any of that can happen, before any narrative can shift or future can be built, the Browns need to take the one step they've avoided all season. They need to let the kid play. Because if they don't, the consequences will be far deeper than a losing record or an angry fan base. They risk wasting a year of development for a young quarterback who could be the answer to decades of instability. They risk alienating players who want to win now. They risk losing what little credibility remains with a fan base that has endured more heartbreak than triumph. And perhaps most importantly, they risk making decisions that will shape the next 5 years of this franchise based on incomplete information. The narrative surrounding Cleveland has been the same for far too long. Promise overshadowed by dysfunction. Potential destroyed by poor decisions. Talent wasted by mishandling. But this time, the Browns have a chance to break that cycle. This time, they can choose growth over stubbornness, logic over pride, and progress over paralysis. The final stretch of the season will reveal who the Browns truly are, not just as a team, but as an organization. Will they take the bold step and give Sanders the start he's earned? Or will they cling to a fading strategy, hoping for a miracle that has shown no signs of arriving? Fans, analysts, and opponents are watching closely, because whatever happens next will define the future of this franchise far more than a single win or loss ever could. Now I want to hear from you. Do you believe the Browns are deliberately delaying Shedeur Sanders' debut out of fear, pride, or incompetence? Do you think he could be the quarterback Cleveland has been searching for all these years? And if you were in charge, would you start him immediately or finish the season with Gabriel? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next deep dive into the biggest stories shaking up the NFL. Your support keeps this community strong, and together we'll continue uncovering the truth behind the game.